man. Dudes, Patriots. What is puffin'? On this election day 2025, welcome to Blunt Force Politics. The pod where we exhale the dems' despair and inhale the red wave vibes. I'm Dirty South Josh, your half-baked hype man. For all things wet, white, and totally uncut. Tonight, Trump backs Cuomo to block commie Zoran Mum Dummy's New York City takeover. Threatens Fed funds cut. Musk Mum Dummy troll. Chefs kiss. Snap halved and shut down hell. Your fridge ghosted. What? Illegals? Hotel high life. Aviation controllers are MIA without pay. Fly safe or maybe not like Biden's border. Michigan FBI nabbed a Democrat violent texting hack, and Dick Cheney decided to check out of this life at 84. Neocon naps forever. Trump's the real power play today, saying, you got the ballot box, we're just token the turnout, light it up, America! Because it's time for Blunt Force Politics. Hit an emoji if you're getting a buzz on the election day ready. All right. I'm Josh, and got the headline hits here. Trump is endorsing Cuomo, slams the Mom Dummy New York City mayor bid, election day bombshell. Trump phones in Virginia rally support, but holds fire on Earl Sears. Meanwhile, full-throated Cuomo endorsement to crush Zoran Mamdani's socialist New York City grab. The threat? Elect a commie, lose federal billions. Musk tweets Dummy shade, and the Dems' far-left dream, well, it meets the wall. Let's scope this out.
Mike Page, thanks again for continuing to join us. Well, we are just on the eve of some big races across the country, and we'll be bringing you full coverage tomorrow. I mean, we have a big race in New Jersey for governor, in Virginia for governor race as well, but New York City as well, such a huge mayoral race there, not only in the city, but of course across the country as well. And earlier today, President Trump letting it be known who he is supporting for the mayoral race, endorsing Andrew Cuomo and saying this about Mamdani. President Trump writes on Truth Social that if communist candidate Zoran Mamdani wins the election for mayor of New York City, it is highly unlikely that I will be contributing federal funds other than the very minimum as required to my beloved first home, because of the fact that as a communist, this once great city has zero chance of success or even survival. It can only get worse with a communist at the helm, and I don't want to send, as president, good money after bad. It is my obligation to run the nation, and it is my strong conviction that New York City will be a complete and total economic and social disaster should Mamdani win. His principles have been tested for over 1,000 years, and never once have they been successful. I would much rather see a Democrat who has had a record of success win than a communist with no experience and a record of complete and total failure. He was nothing as an assemblyman, ranked at the bottom of the class, and as mayor of potentially, again, the greatest city in the world, he has no chance to bring it back to its former glory. We must also remember this: a vote for Curtis Sliwa, who looks much better without the beret, is a vote for Mamdani. Whether you personally like Andrew Cuomo or not, you really have no choice. You must vote for him and hope he does a fantastic job. He is capable of it. Mamdani is not. So that was President Trump putting that out on Truth Social just a little bit ago. And as I mentioned there before, key races are going to be up for grabs in Virginia, New Jersey, and really across the country. We do want to show you Fox News' Rebecca Castor with a breakdown of some of the big races to watch tomorrow.
And this is important.
It's the final push in the governor's races in Virginia and New Jersey as the GOP candidates look to upset the Democratic frontrunners on Tuesday.
The real polls are looking very good. Their votes aren't turning out, but ours are.
This is all about New Jersey. You know, Donald Trump has nothing to do with our property taxes, nothing to do with our monthly electric bills, public safety, public education, overdevelopment. My opponent wants to blame everything on the president. People in New Jersey are smarter than that.
Virginia and New Jersey are both states Kamala Harris decisively won in 2024.
It's going to be a continued fight against Trump's vision in Washington.
All right, that kind of gets a little sidetracked there on what they're talking about there. That was just a longer clip section. And again, it's just ridiculous what's going on there. Mom Donnie's affordable New York City code for migrant mansions on your dime. Cuomo's comeback. Trump approved cleanup crew on that. You know, the Dems are high on the DSA dreams, and we're high on defunding the freaking flop. Virginia and New Jersey governor races. It's a mood ring for midterms, or red glow might be coming in on that wave, but you know, it all remains to be seen. You know, I did this episode a little early. We'll do a late night episode about maybe 11 or 12 Central, and see where things start rolling out, man. I'm behind Trump on that. I'd recommend people don't vote for Sliwa. If you're a Republican in New York City and you happen to catch this right before you go out, you know, just don't vote for Sliwa, man. Don't vote for Mom Donnie either if you're out there. Just take on Cuomo. We already know he's a sack of crap, but we know what level of sack of crap he is. We know he's not going to go completely against everything like some of these others have. So it might be an okay event. Like, I really don't know for sure. This is like, a lot of this is uncharted territory for a lot of stuff that's going on. Story number 2 in the headlines: SNAP benefits are slashed to half in the shutdown, and the illegals feast. We're in shutdown month 2. The U.S. Department of Agriculture taps contingency crumbs. Half SNAP for November. Delayed weeks for 42 million Americans. Kids munching air? Check. Illegals in $2,000 a month hotels? Double check. Trump admin's partial $4.6 billion patch coming eventually. Priorities? Well, Dems say drag queens over dinners. And here is a clip on what's really going on with the SNAP benefits.
Good evening and welcome everyone to 12 News at 6. New tonight, Arizona's largest food bank is gearing up for a surge in demand as the government shutdown threatens to cut off food stamps for hundreds of thousands of Arizonans a week from today.
12 News journalist Bram Resnick stopped by St. Mary's Food Bank today. And Bram, is there any reason to hope that food stamps won't be affected by this shutdown?
Well, Caribe, it's day 24 of the shutdown. There is no movement in Washington, D.C. toward ending it, so it's difficult to be optimistic. And Governor Katie Hobbs told reporters today there's nothing she can do to cover the multi-million-dollar cost of food stamps, so she's counting on agencies like St. Mary's Food Bank, which has already seen its demand surge. The Friday morning lines at St. Mary's Food Bank were long and getting longer.
I need some. All right, we don't need the whole thing, but you get the point. We got food banks. We got that. This coverage is from like 10 days ago. That's what the left over there at that one was NBC. And they just keep regurgitating the same thing, making it sound like our current administration is what causing all this to happen. But Schumer's filibuster, it starves the citizens while the borders bleed dollars. Trump's got a fix, and the citizens cash first. Like, indica for invasion itch. You know, the Democrats are saying they're like humanitarians. It's not that. It's a hammock handout. It's not delay. It's dem drag. Pass the ramen, or better, the redistricting revolt. You know, citizens cash first. That's how it's going to be. That's how it's going to be. They can't. We can't get the full fund. They bitch that Trump can do all this stuff and executive order things or whatever, but unfortunately our budgeting and everything doesn't exactly work that way. But I digress. Aviation safety fears and Michigan FBI raid heat. Aviation alarm, furloughed controllers, ghost shift, side hustle for scraps. Shut down skies riskier than Portland protests, plus Michigan FBI raids Democrat AG challenger Jay Jones over old violence texts and reckless driving bust. Trump era lockups for liberal lunacy. As far as the furloughed traffic controllers, I saw a furloughed federal IRS attorney, and he opened up a hot dog stand in New York City down there on Wall Street. Oh, I'm just saying, people are finding a way to make things kind of work. But here's our little clippity clip on this section.
The FBI tonight saying it thwarted a potential Halloween terror plot in Michigan, multiple arrests. The FBI says suspects had firearms training and that they had intercepted communications, including messages referring to Pumpkin Day. Here's our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas, tonight.
In the early morning hours today, the FBI launching a series of raids in connection to what they feared was a deadly plot to commit mass murder on a Halloween weekend in Michigan. This video obtained by the TCD Dearborn News shows the tense moments as the FBI prepares to enter a home seeking evidence they believe was tied to the alleged plot, which a law enforcement source says may have been inspired by ISIS. FBI Director Kash Patel posting at 7:30 a.m. This morning, the FBI thwarted a potential terrorist attack and arrested multiple suspects in Michigan. Neighbors stunned and fearful with the news coming just hours before parents were to take their children out to trick-or-treat for Halloween.
This is very new and scary to me. It's like you're in a movie all of a sudden.
Sources telling ABC News for a number of months the FBI had been monitoring the communications of a number of suspected radicals using an online chat group. In recent weeks, those suspects had allegedly engaged in firearms training. And sources tell ABC News the decision was made to conduct raids after there was a reference to Pumpkin Day, which authorities feared meant Halloween. Those sources telling ABC News 2 suspects have been arrested, with 3 more being questioned, ranging in age from 16 to 20.
David, although no charges were officially announced today, sources tell us they believe this was a potentially serious plot. But the FBI says the threat has been neutralized. So, David, it appears it's okay for kids in those communities to trick or treat. David,
it's okay. It's okay. Go ahead. Do your trick or treating. For ABC News, I was actually impressed that it wasn't all that shitty of a report on that one. Impressive. But the controllers burn out like a bad patch, fly at your peril because they're taking off. But as far as the FBI and that's a good thing. They finally thwarted another one. And the thing is though, what I didn't see ABC do is like they kind of seem to downplay it. They really kind of downplayed it on that. Shit happens. It freaking happens. The deep roast. Beat switch. It's the Hotel California. All right. Elections, Virginia, New Jersey, governors, New York City, mayor, California, redistricting, Trump's shadow looms. Democrats fracture like cheap glass. Cuomo's crush on Mom Donnie. Tariff on socialism. Musk's troll bonus blaze. Got a snap slash. Half rations going out there. Delayed dough. Illegals lounge while you scrape for your cash. Trump's pash is partial peace, but the shutdown is the Democrats' dope. Aviation in Michigan, sky is shaky, but the raids are going righteous. Controllers are crashing and ghosting, and Jones is pretty much jailbait. Cheney's exit out of the fold. The neocons curtain call. Trump rewrites the sequel. Sans torture scripts. Well, the hazy thread. Democrats peddle shutdown spectacles and socialist snacks. Draining skies and safety nets while Trump endorses enforcers, raids the rot, and signals midterms being read. The old joker of me, well, if Mom Donnie wins New York City flights, free for migrants, crash on your tax dollars. Time for the rapid fire. The rapid fire, as if that wasn't enough. As if that little monologue wasn't enough. All right. Clip A. It's the blunt force blur here. Some hazy zingers. Kind of zip through these a little bit. President Trump threatens to withhold some money if Zohran Mamdani freaking wins in New York. Let's check out this punch.
A new post out from President Trump about the New York mayoral race, which we've been talking about all morning. He said self-proclaimed New York City communist Zohran Mamdani, who's running for mayor, will prove to be one of the best things to ever happen to our great Republican Party. He's going to have problems with Washington like no mayor in the history of our once great city. Remember, he needs the money from me as president in order to fulfill all of his fake communist promises. He won't be getting any of it. So what's the point of voting for him? This ideology has failed always for thousands of years. It will fail again. And that's guaranteed. President DJT issuing a warning to New Yorkers this morning. I have to tell you that I imagine that the folks who were planning to vote for Mamdani look at that kind of warning, and that doesn't talk them out of voting for him. In fact, it may help persuade more folks who, are worried about what's happening in Washington. So having said that, we've talked a lot on this set before about the fact that the National Guard has emerged in all these other cities, has not come to New York. I think one of the reasons for that, and it's pure conjecture, but it may very well be because Adams was in this role and he had this sort of weird relationship or special relationship, but unusual relationship with this president and what happens. And whether New Yorkers should be voting based on that is an interesting concept unto itself.
Well, let me just look at some of the numbers on this. In fiscal year 2025, federal funds made up about 8.3% of the city's operating budget, including nearly $1.1 billion in pandemic-related funds. The funding comes through direct grants, competitive applications, formula-based allocations supporting programs like housing choice vouchers for low-income residents. In fact, the city receives billions of dollars through programs like the HUD tenant-based rental assistance program.
Okay, we don't need to listen to her whole spew of bullshit there, but the gist is, if you listen to their attitude, their CNBC Plus, these douchebag, brilliant idiots are endorsing communism, socialism, anti-American ideology just because they dislike Donald Trump. Like, more Trump derangement syndrome at its finest. If you ask me, anyway, on that one, that's another example of it. It's like, let's just skip over this and start talking about something that's completely, really unrelated. So, SNAP benefits being partially funded on Clip B.
NewsHour. As the federal government shutdown enters its 34th day, a critical safety net for millions of Americans, that's food aid, has run out for the moment.
But today, a partial lifeline. The Trump administration says it will soon resume making some food aid payments. That's after 2 judges ruled that the government must keep the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, running. Millions of Americans still are facing hurdles and questions about when they'll start receiving those benefits again. Lisa Desjardins has the latest on that and the shutdown.
People trying to get some food for the family.
In New York over the weekend, a noticeable queue winding around a local food bank.
We have a very long line today, usually, more than usual, because of all the challenges that people are going through.
As SNAP benefits went into limbo Saturday, that line was not unique. This is a nonprofit in Somerville, Massachusetts.
This week we've seen about approximately a 15 to 20% uptick in number of guests that we've seen in our pantry. A lot of people have donated to us in the past couple of days, which is very helpful.
Today, the Trump administration responded to a court order saying it will pay benefits this month, but at roughly half the usual amount. And it's not clear when recipients will see those funds. More than 40 million Americans depend on SNAP, formerly known as food stamps, to help them get by each month, including single mother of four, Heather Ann Falta.
I'm working 10, 11-hour days, sometimes 6 days a week. And that's just to meet like bill requirements. So the fact that my food budget is gone is seriously disheartening.
SNAP costs about $8 billion per month. It is out of normal operating funds because of the shutdown. The contingency fund, approved by Congress, still has more than $4.6 billion in it, but that won't cover a full month. Last week, 2 federal judges ordered the administration to use that to keep SNAP payments flowing. The Trump administration says that will happen, but the process of loading SNAP cards can take up to 2 weeks in some states. For one SNAP recipient at a food bank near St. Paul, Minnesota, the delay is alarming.
My wife died. The prices of foods went up, and boy, I had to get them that SNAP, and I'm glad I'm getting it. But now the government wants to take it away from us, and I feel that we need it. We're old. I just want to have.
Yeah, all I gotta say, it's like, yeah, they need it. They're old. I get that, but it's not Trump. It's not our administration. It's the people you freaking voted for. 5 Democrats is what stands between the government opening and everybody getting all their shit back. 5 Democrats. The majority of the Senate wants it open. It's just a bunch of stupid ideology. That's how they roll, though. That's how they like to roll. Like, keep everybody hostage, and the people that they're keeping hostage keep voting for their hostage takers. They got Stockholm Syndrome across the board there on the Democrat Party. We got CBS Mornings here. I like to get the left's point of view on a lot of these stories, because it makes no sense to play an echo chamber. So this is the shutdown coverage. Ow, shit. This is just a zinger on its own. CBS Mornings.
More than 7,000 flights were delayed Thursday, partly due to staffing issues. Many air traffic controllers are not getting paid. Christian Benavides is at Orlando's airport tracking the shutdown's impact there. Christian, good morning.
Good morning, Nate. Staffing here in Orlando is so limited that yesterday, for a brief moment, the Federal Aviation Administration said that flights wouldn't be able to land here because they didn't have enough air traffic controllers. This morning, things are running, but with substantial delays.
As this shutdown continues, you're going to see more pressure on controllers, more pressure on TSA workers, and that's going to have real impact.
That impact hitting several major airports Thursday as FAA facilities across the country experience.
You got to enjoy how when these liberal media outlets show these clips of, the Republican statements, they make it sound like it's like the Republicans made this as a threat and like this is because of us. We did. No, they're explaining what's going on because of the Democrats, but they just conveniently leave out lots of these press releases and conferences that they do. I digress.
Staffing issues, including here in Orlando. The FAA says a shortage in controllers almost led them to shut down their runways. But an hour later, they were able to secure enough staff. Flyers faced delays up to 4 hours.
It's not just affecting those employees, it's affecting us too, and it's a huge chain reaction.
It comes as around 13,000 air traffic controllers missed their first full paycheck on Tuesday, and they could miss at least 2 more by Thanksgiving if the stalemate continues.
I worry about the air traffic controllers who, of course, make this entire system extra safe. I worry about them, more worried about their credit card bill than they should be because they're not getting a paycheck.
And with more controllers calling out sick and the holidays right around the corner, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy had this stark warning Thursday.
Our traffic will be snarled, right? It'll be a disaster in aviation.
God, man, CBS just makes you want to vomit the way they twist that. He gave a stark warning. It wasn't a warning. I watched the actual press conference live when he did it. Like, he was explaining everything that's going to happen when these people were asking some questions. And he didn't deliver it as any type of warning other than, hey, it's the Democrats and Schumer and all that. That's the problem. Notice how you never see CNN or CBS and them. You never see John Fetterman on there. Kind of wonder why. Finally, in clip D, breaking this morning when I woke up, I wanted to find out about what's going on election-wise, but instead, old Dick Cheney, he ran out of heart tickers here at 84 years old. I don't really have a lot to say.
This is a Fox News alert. We have just learned, as Carly was talking, that Dick Cheney has died. We're learning more information as we do. We will continue to pass that along to you, of course. We just literally got this information a few seconds ago.
He was chief of staff under Gerald Ford. He was former Secretary of Defense under George H.W. Bush. He went on to be vice president for 2 terms with George W. Bush and is considered the conservatives' conservative, a very hardliner, someone extremely competent, and someone.
All right, there we go. That's enough on that. Where's my closeout? My closeout. Ooh, that was a good joke. Whew, yeah. Word, Patriots. Election day. Dems dodge red bullets, but eat shut-down smoke. Mamdani menace. Snap, scrap, shaky skies, and raided rogues. Cheney's curtain. Trump's toolkit. Endorsements edged. Funds flexed. Midterms mapped. They're turning America into a ballot box blaze. Sans the bust. He said, vote red, win big, not burn bridges. Lock in today, 2026. Maybe a red tsunami coming with the midterms, with extra haze. Don't forget to subscribe, share with that one liberal who needs a wake and vote and a wake and bake. Kicking the ass. Next episode, it's going to be the post-election puffs. Actually, we're going to do a late-night one. But it'll still be technically post-election. Stay tuned and stay toasted. You got to always remember to stay Trump, too. Because that's the way the cookie crumbled. I'm Dirty South Josh. And it's been my pleasure.
Did my time, took my chances. With the distance, now I'm back on my feet. Just a man and his will to survive.